15 years we'd agreed to be child-free. Then my wife, Victoria, brought home fraternal twins. "Don't get the wrong idea, Sincere," she said. "I just fulfilled Ethan Blackwell's dream. The children will be raised under my name, but you'll be their father too. This way, we also have something to tell Mom and Dad." I looked at the woman I'd spent 15 years with, turned around and walked out of her world forever. It had been 15 years of marriage when I received a call from the international school, leaving me somewhat stunned. An enthusiastic female voice came through the phone. "I've already emailed you the enrollment forms for Leo Ainsworth and Luna Ainsworth, Mr. Gu. Please review them, and if everything is correct, just submit them." My heart pounded. I was about to deny it, but on impulse, I murmured an "okay" and hung up, immediately checking my email. Seeing Victoria Ainsworth's name listed under Mother, my mind went blank. The children's father was her first love, Ethan Blackwell. The immense shock left me reeling for a long time. After confirming the information, I rushed straight to Victoria's company, desperate to know the truth. When her secretary saw me at the door, she was visibly startled. "Mr. Gu, what brings you here?" Secretary Linda Lynn and I had known each other for a while, but this was the first time I'd seen such panic in her eyes. I just nodded. "Just passing by." As I moved to enter, Linda quickly blocked my way. "Sir, there's a guest inside." I scoffed lightly. "What guest can't I see?" "Linda, are you sure you want to stop me?" Linda stood firm but silent. Her attitude said everything. Pushing past Linda, I went straight in. "Victoria." She turned abruptly, hastily ending her call and motioning for Linda to leave. "Sincere, what are you doing here? Did you miss me?" Seeing her still putting on an act, I gave a cold laugh and threw the printed documents onto her desk. "Give me an explanation." Victoria's face turned pale upon seeing the enrollment forms. She took a deep breath. "That was just an accident, Sincere. You are my husband, that's undeniable. It's just 2 children." My response was a slap across her face. I put all my strength into it, snapping her head to the side. It quickly started to swell and turn red. "Victoria, you lied to me. Was it me who didn't want kids? You know the reason." My frayed nerves finally snapped, anger written all over my face. Victoria gasped for breath, her sharp gaze softening. "It's my fault, Sincere, but we're not ordinary people. 2 children won't shake your position." "Why?" I looked up, demanding answers. "If the school hadn't called me, how long were you planning to hide this? They're 12 years old. Why specifically 12, 13 years ago, Victoria went abroad for a year for research. It turned out she went to have Ethan Blackwell's children." Victoria moved to hug me, but I shoved her away violently. "Don't touch me." Her eyes dimmed with pain. "Sincere, I know I was wrong about this. I just fulfilled Ethan's dream of being a father. That year you had the accident, my mother pressured me to divorce you. Ethan found me and said he could help. I agreed. Don't worry, the position of Mr. Gu is still yours, and only yours." I took a step back, utterly disappointed. "Victoria, you've disappointed me deeply." I shook my head and turned to leave. Victoria looked like she wanted to say something but didn't pursue me. In the early days of starting our business, Victoria angered someone who sent thugs after her. I took a knife for her. That wound didn't kill me, but it robbed me of the ability to father children. At that time, my mother-in-law, Eleanor, indeed had complaints about me, and Victoria was caught in the middle. But somehow, she suddenly stopped pushing the issue. Now I knew why she already had her grandchildren pitiful me, kept completely in the dark, thinking I was so happy. I was the real fool. After returning home, I quickly assessed our joint assets, including shares, and had a lawyer draft a divorce agreement. Then I packed my belongings, left my wedding ring behind, and walked out. Victoria deceived me. Did she really think the title Mr. Gu would hold me captive? I wouldn't keep someone who lied to me after marrying Victoria. I had stepped back into a supporting role, but that didn't mean I lacked capability. I called my assistant, Alan. "That overseas project we discussed last time, we can start it now. It will be solely ours, with no connection to the Ainsworth Corporation." "UGE." Alan hesitated. What about Ms. Gu? I'm getting a divorce. Victoria has illegitimate children. Prepare for the division of assets. Alan was shocked but immediately set to work. Our lives were too entangled. Victoria wanted to save face and keep holding on to me. Impossible sharp pains shot through my chest. Victoria's words felt like daggers, shattering the composure I had maintained for years. After consulting a lawyer about the divorce, I hired someone to discreetly investigate Ethan Blackwell and the two children. Unsurprisingly, Victoria had protected them well. What I hadn't expected was that she had placed them in Seaview Manor. Seeing the information, my heart clenched painfully again. Our 15-year marriage. From the day of my accident, Victoria's heart had changed. It must have been difficult for her, acting for over a decade, juggling two families, enjoying domestic bliss while keeping me in the dark. A bitter smile touched my lips. The ache deep in my heart quickly spread, becoming almost unbearable. Just as I was about to make a call, Victoria returned. Seeing me sitting on the floor with the divorce papers in front of me, Victoria flew into a rage. Sincere Clark, you want a divorce? Just because of those two children? I thought I made myself clear. Mom and Dad already know. Are you still threatening me with divorce? At that moment, the pain in my chest was so intense I was breaking out in a cold sweat, unable to speak. All I wanted was to get to the hospital. My face pale, I whispered, "Take me to the hospital." Victoria fell silent. I looked up at her. I said, "Take me to the hospital first." Only then did she realize something was wrong. As she started towards me, her phone rang. Victoria glanced at the screen and immediately answered. Clutching my chest, I felt wave after wave of palpitations. Victoria. Victoria hastily hung up. "That was the hospital. The kids are injured. I have to go right away. We'll talk when I get back." She turned and rushed out. I couldn't hold on any longer and instinctively dialed emergency services. When I woke up, I was in the hospital. The doctor held my chart. Sudden heart attack. A few minutes later and you wouldn't have made it. A wave of fear washed over me. I almost died. If I hadn't managed to call for help, I would be dead. The thought that Victoria nearly let me die to rush off to her two illegitimate children turned my heart to ice. My resolve to leave hardened. After the doctor left, I sat up and checked my phone. No calls from Victoria, not even a text message. An entire night had passed since she left. A new day, and I needed to start a new life. I checked out of the hospital after 3 days. As I was completing the discharge procedures, I ran into Victoria in the lobby. A girl, who resembled her strongly, clung tightly to her hand. "Mommy, please don't leave me, okay?" "Okay, sweetie. Mommy will come right back after finishing this." She looked up and saw me. A flash of panic crossed her face before she quickly walked over. "Sincere, what are you doing here? Can't I be here? I told you, don't worry about the children. Your position as Mr. Gu won't be shaken." Suddenly, the girl beside her, Luna Ainsworth, burst into tears. "You're a bad person. You stole my mommy and made my daddy sad. You're bad. Go away, go away." She came forward and pushed me hard. The push made me stumble back, and the pain in my chest flared up again. People around us started pointing and whispering. Victoria stood silently, her expression grim. I stepped forward and slapped Luna across the face. Luna fell to the ground. Victoria exploded. "Sincere Clark, are you crazy? She's just a child. How could you hit her?" Of course, a man who can't have children himself would be this ruthless. Victoria's words plunged into my heart like a knife. I couldn't help but sneer. "Yeah, I'm ruthless, but that doesn't stop you lot from being shameless." "That's enough." Luna clung to Victoria, sobbing quietly. "Mommy, don't be angry. It's my fault. I was just so upset. Daddy said you'd be with us eventually, but this uncle keeps clinging to you. I just wanted Mommy to stay with us." I clapped slowly. Impressive. Truly Ethan Blackwell's daughter. Like father, like daughter. Playing the innocent victim card so well, Victoria couldn't take it anymore. "Haven't you had enough? She's just a child." She pushed me back forcefully. A surge of anger rose within me. Meeting Luna's triumphant gaze, I turned and slapped Victoria. "Victoria Ainsworth, control your illegitimate daughter before we're divorced. Keep your bastard brat in line. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I, Sincere Clark, am no saint or pushover. I don't fall for these games. Whoever hurts me, I'll hit back." After landing the slap, I turned and left, ignoring Luna's screams, Victoria's angry shouts, and the murmurs of the onlookers behind me. I didn't care about any of it, but I hadn't noticed anything particularly wrong with the little brat's health. Ethan wanted to use the children to pressure me. Fine, let him have his wish. That same day, news of Victoria's marital affair spread like wildfire online. Photos of Ethan Blackwell and the twins were exposed. My mother-in-law called, screaming at me. "Sincere Clark, you can't have children yourself, so you won't let my daughter have them either. How dare you treat Luna like that? You get back here and apologize." Apologize? A bitch and her bastard? Was I wrong? Tell it to the court. "Old woman, your comfortable days are numbered. Tell Victoria to wait for what's coming." I hung up first and instructed my lawyer to file the lawsuit immediately. Those 3 days in the hospital weren't idle. I wouldn't give up a single cent of my share of the joint assets with Victoria. I even got ahead of her, seizing control of the public narrative. Ethan Blackwell appeared in interviews, crying about not being a homewrecker, but my marriage certificate completely debunked his claims. I also leaked the school enrollment email I had received. He'd been the other man for over a decade. There were too many cracks in his story. Even if Victoria claimed she was just fulfilling his dream of fatherhood, I didn't buy it. If he wanted to be a dad so badly, he could have gone to a sperm bank. 3 days later, Victoria returned. She looked resentful and also exhausted. "Sincere Clark, are you satisfied now? I've arranged for the children to go abroad, and I've sent Ethan away too. As you wished. I'll issue a public apology now. Will you help me just this once?" I looked at Victoria. Even now, she thought I was just being domineering, unable to tolerate the 2 children. I scoffed. "Victoria, do you think I care about the title, Mr. Goo? I know you only care about me, now that the threats are gone. If the company collapses, you won't fare well either, Sincere." She stepped forward, grabbing my hand. "Help me. Clarify things." "How?" A flicker of hope appeared on Victoria's face. "Just say, we divorced long ago." Hearing this, I froze for a moment, looked at Victoria, and then suddenly burst out laughing. "All right, sign here." I handed her the agreement. Victoria's expression darkened. "I didn't want a divorce, You just want to protect them and resolve the company crisis, right? Sign it. That's the only way they'll believe it." Victoria hesitated for a long time but finally signed, not even bothering to read the contents. After signing, she moved to embrace me, but I stepped aside. "Let's keep our distance, Victoria. I can't accept this right now." Her hands froze midair. She then nodded and went to the guest room. I handed the signed divorce agreement to my lawyer, breathing a sigh of relief. Leaving her, we would never see each other again. Victoria seemed to forget that I, Sincere Clark, always keep my word. She thought signing the divorce papers was just me agreeing to help her cover up the truth, but I would never compromise myself. That evening, the Ainsworth Corporation issued a statement. Victoria specifically attached our divorce agreement. I laughed. She really couldn't wait, no matter. I took out my copy of the agreement and tagged her online. Free at last. Do not disturb. Then I blocked her. Victoria sighed outside my door. I knew she was restless, but I didn't open it. After hesitating for a few minutes, her footsteps faded away. The sound of a door closing cut off all connection between us. Netizens speculated wildly. There was a divorce agreement, but no official divorce certificate. Ethan Blackwell still couldn't show his face publicly. I could get divorced, but Ethan Blackwell wouldn't be entering the Ainsworth family home. Waking up, I immediately booked a flight to France. Just before leaving, I sold off all my shares. Then I instructed my lawyer to sue Ethan Blackwell, demanding the return of marital assets he had received. Knowing Victoria's capabilities, Getting the official divorce certificate was a trivial matter. I cooperated with her, got the money, but I wouldn't let Ethan Blackwell off the hook either. Once everything was settled, I flew abroad. The day I left, Victoria went back to her family's old residence early in the morning. The reason was simple. The children couldn't get used to living abroad and were fussing to come back. Mrs. Ainsworth couldn't bear to see them unhappy and brought them back. Upon seeing Victoria, Mrs. Ainsworth started nagging incessantly. "I told you long ago that Sincere Clark was no good. You insisted on having him back then. And look what happened. It's such a mess now. The children suffered, you were affected, and now you're divorced. Hurry up and marry Ethan Blackwell." Victoria was extremely irritated. "Mom, what are you saying? Sincere agreed to cooperate with me to help the company through this crisis. Didn't we agree they should stay away for a while to let things cool down? Why did you bring them back?" "What else could I do? Luna is still having nightmares after being hit, and Leo is being mocked at school. When have our Ainsworth children ever suffered like this?" "All right, Mom. We'll talk about it later." The company just stabilized. Sincere isn't the type to take things lying down. If he gets truly angered, it could lead to mutually assured destruction, and none of us will benefit. Mrs. Ainsworth rolled her eyes in annoyance, then beckoned the two children into her arms. "Victoria, let me tell you, these two wonderful children are the hope of the Ainsworth family. If Sincere Clark dares to lay a hand on them again, I absolutely won't be polite."
"I know, Mom. He won't."
Victoria also felt I had overreacted, but Luna had been out of line that day. "But Luna, you can't be so impolite in the future." Luna pouted, and Mrs. Ainsworth immediately became defensive. "Our Luna did nothing wrong for over 10 years. Sincere Clark occupied the position of Mr. Gu. He should have stepped aside long ago." Mrs. Ainsworth continued to pressure her. Victoria felt a headache coming on. She had already gotten me to cooperate, but her mother was still being difficult. She had already planned it out, release the divorce agreement, stabilize the situation, then act according to circumstances. Victoria rubbed her weary temples, thinking she should buy me a gift on her way back. Meanwhile, hiding in a corner, Ethan Blackwell witnessed this scene, his face darkening. 12 years their children were already so big, yet Victoria's heart was still with me. What was so great about me? Ethan bit his lip, feeling resentful but helpless. His only option was to curry favor with his future mother-in-law. After leaving the old residence, Victoria went straight to a high-end mall and selected a pink diamond. She remembered I loved collecting diamonds. Back when we had no money, even a simple plain band from her could make me happy for a long time. After careful selection, Victoria returned home with the pink diamond and flowers. The house was dark. Usually I would be home at this time. Where had I gone? Sincere? No response. Married for 15 years, we had always lived here. Everything in the house bore my mark. She turned on the lights. The place felt cold and empty, as if something was missing. She looked around and finally realized my things were gone. A terrible premonition rose in Victoria's heart. She rushed to the bedroom. In the closet, my side was completely empty. Her heart sank. Victoria quickly pulled out her phone to call me, only to find the number was no longer in service. She trembled violently and immediately called Linda Lynn. "Find out where Sincere Clark went, quickly." How could her number be disconnected? The panic in Victoria's heart grew stronger. She remembered my face, full of disappointment, when she had convinced me to cooperate with the already divorced narrative, and the desolate, dead look in my eyes beneath the fury when I discovered she had children, as if I were looking through her at our younger selves. How much they had loved each other back then. Even after learning I couldn't have children, Victoria had never thought of giving up. But she had broken her promise so quickly. Victoria slapped herself hard. Twice just then, Linda Lynn called back. "Ms. Gu, I've found out. Mr. Shen went abroad, but his exact whereabouts afterwards are unknown. Whatever it takes, find Sincere. Go now," Victoria screamed, feeling like she was about to break down. She needed to ask me, face to face, why I could really let her go, let go of all the years of love between us while Victoria was searching everywhere for me. I was already overseas with my team, deep in negotiations and battles. By the time everything settled, 5 months had passed. The branch company was operating smoothly. Alan and I faced quite a few challenges abroad, but starting anything is difficult. Only now had things truly stabilized. My young assistant Alan and I lay on the beach, sunbathing and sipping cocktails. He couldn't help but sigh. I never thought I'd see the day, blue skies, white clouds, beaches, beautiful women. It's unreal. UGE, have you ever thought about having an international romance? I chuckled. An international romance might be too much, but admiring the view is fine. I'm not ready to step into marriage right now. Who said anything about marriage? Just dating is fine too. Look at you, rich, handsome. Your potential date so young, so vibrant, whatever she's after. You happen to have it, it's just dating. No harm done. Hearing this, I laughed. Turning my head, I saw a figure stumbling towards us in the distance. My smile froze. Alan seemed to notice something was wrong, turned his head, and was shocked to see the newcomer, Victoria Ainsworth. How did she find us? I swear I didn't leak your location. I patted his arm. It wouldn't be that hard for Victoria to find me, though she was slower than I expected, taking a full 5 months to track me down. She stumbled forward, ran towards me, and then suddenly threw herself down, kneeling right in front of me. The action startled me badly. Victoria, it's not a holiday or festival. Why are you kneeling to me? I'm not your elder. This is too much. My teasing remark made Victoria shake her head. She said seriously, sincere, please come back with me, okay? I looked at her as if she were an idiot. Go back? Victoria, are you asking me to go back and be a stepfather? Sorry, not interested. No, it's not like that. I told you, the children have been sent abroad, and I drove Ethan away. Please don't be angry anymore. Don't leave me again, okay? I can't bear this torment. She grasped my hand, pleading earnestly. Looking at her, Victoria had lost a lot of weight in just 5 months. She seemed to have made an effort with her appearance, but the usually proud and aloof woman looked utterly haggard now. She looked truly pathetic. I didn't want to say much, just shook my head at her. It's too late. Everything is too late. Don't forget, we've already publicly announced our divorce. No, we haven't gotten the official divorce certificate yet. We only signed the agreement. I scoffed. Victoria, have you forgotten? Money talks. The divorce certificate was obtained long ago. Your copy is probably with Mrs. Ainsworth. Why don't you go back and ask her during my first month abroad, Mrs. Ainsworth contacted me. I flew back, got the divorce certificate, and am now genuinely single. But Victoria didn't give up. No, I want to start over with you. We were married for 15 years, sincere. I don't believe you can be so heartless, just discarding me like this. I found it rather laughable. She was the one who gave up first. Saying these things now was meaningless. I pushed her away and walked off. Victoria tried to follow, but my bodyguard stopped her. Did she really think I'd come abroad alone, unprepared? Victoria became like a clingy pest, hovering around my hotel, my residence, and even showing up at my company. When she saw that Alan and I had started our own company, her brow furrowed deeply. She intercepted me as I was leaving work. Sincere, I knew you'd do well even after divorcing me, but I still want to tell you, you are the only man I've ever truly had in my life. Your company. Its business is similar to mine. Sincere, you still love me, right? I was speechless. You produced 2 children with Ethan Blackwell, and you still say I'm the only man? Victoria, stop being disgusting, all right? Victoria's face fell instantly. No, I have no feelings for him. I just wanted children. The doctor said back then that you couldn't have children, but the Ainsworth family needs heirs. I had no choice. I glanced at her, had the bodyguards keep her away, then took a picture and sent it to Ethan Blackwell and Mrs. Ainsworth. They acted quickly. A week later, Victoria completely disappeared from my sight. I didn't dwell on it. She and I were finished, no ties anymore. As long as she didn't bother me, perhaps I could pretend not to know. But if she harassed me again, then I wouldn't hold back. After she left, my life returned to normal. A year later, I returned to the country with Alan. On the very first day back, I saw news of Victoria's wedding. I couldn't help but smile. So they finally pushed her into marrying Ethan Blackwell. But it was just a public announcement, no grand ceremony. Understandable. At their age, another big wedding might seem inappropriate. I shook my head, said nothing, and headed straight to the company with Alan. Unexpectedly, the first project back put me in direct competition with Victoria. Learning this sparked my competitive spirit. If nothing else, when pitted against Victoria, I had to win. I had already sold off my shares previously, causing Victoria significant losses. Now, facing me again, she was naturally no match. Yet she still dared to approach me. Victoria arrived dressed impeccably, the very picture of a successful businesswoman, a stark contrast to the last time I saw her. Seeing me, Victoria nodded. "Mr. Shen." "Ms. Gu, is there something you need?" "Mr. Shen, you're too kind. I've been trying to schedule a meeting with you for ages. Finally managed it today. You're clearly a very busy man." I glanced down at a file. "It's all right. The company's performance is quite good." There was a slight pause in the air. Victoria shifted in her seat. "I hear Mr. Shen is also competing for the Waxy project. Would you be interested in collaborating? 2 strong companies joining forces is better than one fighting alone." Hearing this, I raised an eyebrow. "But I believe I can definitely win on my own. Victoria, your current situation is even weaker than I imagined. Although I was abroad, I kept up with things here. Your marriage to Ethan Blackwell caused quite a stir within your company. Even if Ainsworth Corp. competed against me alone, I doubt you could win." I was speaking the truth. Those projects handled by the overseas branch in the past 2 years had made me extremely wealthy. My company had a strong reputation, and the old clients I had secured when Victoria and I were together had become my friends. Victoria had kept a lover for over a decade. Her illegitimate children were already grown. And now she dared to suggest a powerful alliance? Honestly, I truly looked down on her. I bluntly exposed Victoria's reality. Her face instantly darkened. She could only smooth her clothes. "You don't understand the domestic investment environment. You won't be able to navigate it. I know you have issues with my marriage to Ethan, but the children are older now. They need a father. I only did it to give them peace of mind. If you're unhappy, I can." "No need, Victoria," I cut her off directly. "Whatever your situation with Ethan Blackwell is, it has nothing to do with me now. You need to understand we are strangers." I pointed towards the door. "If there's nothing else, you can leave. Sincere Clark, must you treat me this way? We were husband and wife after all. Do you have to be like this? Victoria, maintain some dignity." Victoria looked upset but said nothing more, clenching her fists before turning and walking away. It seemed this woman was still living in the past. What about the investment environment? As long as you seize opportunities, anyone can make money. After she left, Alan came over. "UG, we've already connected with the people at Waxy. Once the proposal is finalized in the next couple of days, we can sign the contract. Is Miss Gu still dreaming? Doesn't she know that speed and strength are what matter now?" I shrugged. Even Alan understood, but Victoria didn't. I could only say she was the one truly falling behind. "Help me schedule dinners with these people. I'm back. Some relationships need nurturing." I was serious about maintaining client relations. If Victoria wanted to fight me, she'd have to see if I was willing to play along. In situations like this, winning or losing hinges on a single thought. There was absolutely no way I'd align myself with her. Unexpectedly, before Victoria even had a chance to declare war on me, her own backyard caught fire. A video of her arguing with Ethan Blackwell was captured and uploaded online, much to the amusement of netizens. Under the night sky, Victoria and Ethan stood on the street. Ethan actually slapped her. Enraging Victoria, who screamed abuses at him. Netizens' comments were sharper than knives. Wasn't it supposed to be true love? Mother of his children, how could you hit her? Cheated during marriage, now you have to crawl through it to the end. Please don't divorce. Don't inflict yourselves on others. UGE is the cool one. Dump the trashy woman just like that. Making money with his new company is what matters now. UGE, don't you dare go back and eat those rotten leftovers. I was amused and publicly stated I would absolutely not go back for rotten leftovers, my response. Thrilled the netizens. Meanwhile, I used the opportunity to further strengthen ties with old clients, and even Waxy awarded the project to us. When the news broke, many in the industry started asking who I was. Upon learning I was Victoria's ex-husband, they burst out laughing, making jokes at Victoria's expense. They even openly mocked Ethan Blackwell at a cocktail party. Ethan had never endured such humiliation. He was Victoria's first love, separated initially because Mrs. Ainsworth disapproved of his family background. He only got his foot in the door later because of the children, banking on their status, but he hadn't achieved much over the years. In this circle, connections and family background mattered most. He couldn't help Victoria, nor could he brush off the ridicule with a calm smile. His face visibly darkened. I remained indifferent to all this. Just focus on doing my own thing and making money, everything else is fleeting. But Ethan couldn't let it go. He complained to Victoria, leveraging the fact that he was the father of her children, and as he complained, I stood nearby, watching. Seeing Victoria's expression grow increasingly strained until she finally exploded at him, drawing everyone's attention. Victoria lost face and stormed off. The crowd started gossiping. Look at that, married for such a short time and already like this. What's the use of a long marriage? He clearly can't handle himself in high society. All he thinks about day in and day out is getting his kids to fight for the Ainsworth fortune over petty cash. The Ainsworths? That family is full of shrewd operators. Yeah, even Sincere Clark wasn't favored by them back then. Someone gestured for the speaker to be careful as I was present. The person pouted, turned, saw me, and quickly put on a fawning expression. I wasn't angry. He wasn't exactly wrong. Back then, even I was looked down upon by Mrs. Ainsworth because I couldn't have children, considered a blight on the Ainsworth family. But upon my return, the narrative completely changed. I became the ruthless and decisive rising star in business while Victoria's company continued its decline. At this cocktail party, I was the main event. The news spread. Victoria never came to see me again, but Mrs. Ainsworth sought me out. We met at the coffee shop downstairs from my company. Seeing her again, Mrs. Ainsworth was still elegant, but her gaze towards me was filled with humility. I heard you were back quite a while ago. Haven't seen you in so long, you look the same. Heard things are going well for you recently? Quite well. I took a light sip of coffee. With no one pressuring me, I'm naturally carefree. A flicker of unease crossed Mrs. Ainsworth's face. She sighed. I thought bringing Ethan in, having someone look after the children, and letting Victoria have her family of 4 would bring harmony and prosperity, but I didn't expect him to be such trouble, egging the children on to bother me, demanding money one moment, property the next. I truly didn't realize his ambition was so vast. He even wants shares. Sincere, after thinking it over, I realize you are the best match for Victoria. I regret it. I shouldn't have pushed them to marry. Can you come back? I promise I'll even give you the company, okay? I was slightly stunned. Give it to me. Yes. I see Victoria can't compare to you now. All the Ainsworth Corp. Shares given to you. You become the chairman, as long as you and Victoria remarry. I stared at her incredulously. Mrs. Ainsworth, you must be joking. They are already married. They just went through the motions, didn't even get the official certificate. They aren't legally married. Even the children are only temporarily under her name. I haven't granted them any substantial inheritance rights. She grasped my hand. Sincere, after all these years you were the best. You always put the family first. I truly regret it. I couldn't believe the once haughty old lady was now humbling herself before me. I laughed, subtly withdrawing my hand and shaking my head. It's too late. What? She was shocked. Are you married? I'm not married. I put down my coffee cup. But I will absolutely never go back. Frankly, Victoria doesn't deserve me. She froze, her face instantly turning ugly. I smirked slightly. Ainsworth family matters should be resolved by the Ainsworth family. After all, I'm just an outsider. With that, I stood up and left. She remained seated for a long time, unable to process it. I scoffed inwardly but paid her no mind. In this world, no one waits for anyone in the same place, especially not after she betrayed me. From that moment on, I never once considered reconciling with her. After this incident, Victoria lost all face to approach me again. She and Ethan continued their cycle of arguing and making up, apparently without ever getting legally married. But none of that concerned me anymore. After completing several consecutive projects, I gave myself a long vacation and flew abroad to travel. I had barely left when Alan called, telling me Victoria wanted to see me. When she learned I had left, she apparently broke down. I ignored it. Victoria and I would likely never meet again in this lifetime. May we each find peace in our separate lives. Victoria tried to find me a few more times afterward, but unfortunately I was either abroad or traveling elsewhere. After that, I never saw her again. After several assaults on its business, Ainsworth Corp. finally buckled. Victoria couldn't sustain it and had to step down, becoming an ordinary shareholder. Her income naturally couldn't compare to before. Gossip columns frequently featured pictures of her and Ethan arguing. Even when their fights landed them in the hospital, they didn't separate. As the children grew older, they also frequently caused trouble. Victoria changed their schools several times, leaving her overwhelmed and exhausted. I never saw her again. Even though we lived in the same city, Victoria never reappeared in my life, because she was too ashamed to face me. The gap between us grew wider and wider. Victoria finally understood that I truly didn't want her anymore. For the rest of my life, I only want to live for myself, to be the master of my own destiny.